Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching ECLECTICKA. I'm Michael 7 Michael, and today we've got Micah the Knight. We've got Ann, the comedian Walker, and we've got Sensei Vegan. So we're going to talk about The Last Jedi. So we'll start out with you, Michael, and for everyone watching this, if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want any spoilers, do not watch this episode. But then, of course, after you see it, you better come back here and listen to what we got to say. So, Michael, what do you got for The Last Jedi? Liked it? Didn't like it? What's your commentary?
I liked it overall, and I think that there were definitely some loopholes that could have been addressed, and I think it could have been better in several ways. Mm-hmm. But as a movie itself, it was good. Mm-hmm. Some questions I have were like, why didn't the First Order just go around and attack from the front? Another was, now that I got paper here with all a bunch of notes. Mm-hmm. The way that the movie ended. Actually, no, I'll get back to that in 1 second. Everybody has the Force apparently now in this one, which is fine, totally fine. But now that I feel like that deviates from the originals and from even the prequel trilogy.
I see what you're saying.
Like at the end, there's that boy that uses the Force to do the broom. So I was a little confused about that. And then
I thought I was the only one that caught that.
No. Yeah. A lot of people have been talking about that on the internet.
The little kid, right?
Yeah, he had the ring on.
Yeah, he had the resistance ring on.
Yeah. And then just like at the end could have, now we don't know, they could just leave it off and end it there and just have, there's so much openness to the story that I feel like it can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on the next outcome of this next movie. Also, Snoke, didn't he remind you of Chancellor Palpatine? Did anyone else think that he was maybe Palpatine? Because his voice had the same inflection and it said the same, like similar sounds. And also like how he was like, you are not Vader, but you will be Vader, or something.
They did borrow from the same rants. That is true.
Yeah.
You know, the whole at the Return of the Jedi, a lot of his rants were consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, so just those things kind of like came to mind when I saw it. I was just thinking about those things, you know.
Check that out. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Now, one question is the kid with the broom. I don't know if I missed it. What did he? Did he do something with the broom?
No, he just used the Force to grab it and then like
that's what.
and then look outside.
I didn't even catch that part. Yes, that's weird. Yeah, everyone just sprinkled with the Force. It wasn't like that before.
I thought I was seeing things. Because it was so quick.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even catch that part. So now I gotta go look at it again. Oh, now okay.
See, you think you know Star Wars and you don't know nothing.
I don't know Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I did just recently watch it.
Love it.
I loved it. I thought it was really nice. There was a lot of sentiment there because I hadn't seen, Star Wars in a bit, and so there's characters that came back that I hadn't seen in a bit, and questions, because I didn't understand some things that I kind of caught on about, but overall it was a incredibly good movie. Like we were talking about the dice, I didn't remember the gold dice, like the significance of that,
I don't even remember that from earlier on. Was that in the original?
Yeah, it was very briefly. I didn't remember either until I researched it farther that it was very briefly in the first movie, and so I think Luke sees it back then, and then he sees it now, and that's like it's so brief that almost you didn't even need to have it be there.
Wow.
They just kind of included it, so it was a very small detail that confused.
Because I thought it was very sentimental thing. Okay, but from a comedy side, there was a couple of things I thought were pretty funny, and I can't even lie. Like when they were both going for when Kylo and I can't remember her name. Oh my God, Rey. Thank you, Rey. They're both using the Force and trying to get the lightsaber, and they're both like. I was like, okay, what would be really neat if one of them just was like, walked up to it, grabbed it, and was like, haha. But I was thinking that. And there was another bit where I was kind of curious. No one could find Luke, I guess, and then Rey found Luke on secluded island, and I was like, nobody else could have thought to do that. Like, he'd been there and he was looking everywhere. She's like, hey, there he is up on a hill in a secluded place, all by himself.
You know what's interesting? Look at the picture. If you notice, on Rey's side, there's complete concrete. There's green grass, right?
Mm-hmm.
On Luke's side, it's old, jagged. Now, I don't know if that's just I'm looking too deep into the design of this particular shot, or did they actually really subliminally do that? Did you guys pick that up during the movie?
I did not pick that up.
I didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Dun 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 dun. Conspiracy theory. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting. The anti. Well, you should like this, Mr. Vegan. This whole PETA thing going on, like don't eat the animals. Remember when
He had
Chewbacca was gonna eat those?
Oh, he was. Too. He had that thing all baked up, man. He had the glaze on his little behind and everything.
He did that
Yeah,
glaze.
He glazed.
And they were like, all of a sudden he didn't want to eat them anymore.
That was funny.
So that was interesting. Yeah. But Luke ate fish.
He ate fish. He had the blue milk.
Right.
They show where the blue milk came from. I'm like, really? You had to put that in there? It was just like squash.
Squash, squash.
Yeah, right. Would you like some?
So Charles, did you like it overall?
I liked it overall. I think, again, my biggest issue with Star Wars were the villains, man. It was just like Snoke came across as a punk to me.
Interesting.
It's like he had all this power.
Mm-hmm.
He's running his mouth. Mm-hmm. And then he gets, I say it, hip guillotine by a lightsaber, man. But he says, I see everything. I see the future. How come he didn't see that, dude? He get knocked in half, man. Right. That's what didn't make sense to me. Right. It didn't. I was ready to see Snoke, hope I'm saying is right, Snoke. Yeah. Fight with Kylo and Rey. I thought he was going to fight against him to show his real power. I thought it was going to be a struggle there.
Oh, like 2 against 1.
Yeah, I thought that would have been pretty cool to do that. And it just, because I'm sitting there watching it, then my wife's like, yeah, they're going to kill him. But no, he ain't going to go out that easy. Rip. He just does a front flip and lands on the floor. So I'm like, really? You had this big crescendo, this big build-up, and that's how it happened. And then when Kylo and Rey were fighting against, his henchmen or whatever, I was like, the choreography wasn't that great. They didn't use like any force powers or anything. It was just like straight lightsaber work. Even that looked a little bit shabby. If you look at what Darth Maul did, you know what I mean, with all the work, and then you see them, it was like, come on, guys, this is where you shine. It was kind of off a little bit in that sense.
They did look awesome, though.
It looked good, but I think it could have moved better.
Right, no, definitely.
It could have moved better. It did look good. I give him credit on that, but I thought that the fight scenes could have looked better.
Mm-hmm.
Even if
Snoke was impressive, and I mentioned this before when Rey tried to get the lightsaber.
He did the
and he took it and said, boop, upside her head. That was amazing. Nobody's ever done that before.
That was nice.
So, also, it was interesting how Snoke in the Force Awakens, as well as this one, he was able to appear and be at places and control people, even though he wasn't there. Like, he was able to choke people out. So I think that was like the hint that someone like really high up was able to do that, because we have not seen that in earlier. No, Yoda didn't even do that.
No, he didn't.
So technically, Luke and Snoke were superior to Yoda in that sense.
Yeah.
So, but that little kid with the broom, I thought he was going to start breakdancing.
That was remember? That was Turbo.
Turbo.
Out of Tour de France. And he's moonwalking with the broom.
Yeah.
You got to cut that in there, but people don't know what we're talking about. If you don't know, you should be ashamed of yourself. Best.
That's coming though, right? There's going to be a meme or something with that.
It has to be.
It's going to happen now. We just talked about it.
Better run out. We should make one right now. But that was my only gripe. I thought that some of the choreography could have been better. There were definitely some loopholes, like you said. Like they left the story wide open. I do believe Luke is coming back. That could leave the opening for what you had said before, 7, about the Great Jedi. I don't know. That could leave that open for that, because he did say, "See you around, kid."
He did.
So he definitely has to come back. He definitely has to come
Interesting. That would be great. Well, yeah, he could be the only Jedi to dissipate, and then come back.
back. And then come back.
That would be impressive.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
I was disappointed. The thing that disappointed me more than anything with Star Wars, I need you guys' input on this one. Han Solo was taken out. How come Lando Calrissian didn't make an appearance in the effing movie, man? How come Lando wasn't in Star Wars? He should have been in there.
I thought he was going to be. I called it, and it did not happen.
He should have been
the
in
casino scene. It should have been him.
Yeah, that'd have been nice, right? Lando should have been in there.
Yeah. How you gonna do Solo and not the film Solo? That's about to come out. How can you do that and not put Lando in this one?
You gotta put Lando. Put Billy D in there, man.
Billy D needs a check. Come on.
Yeah, they should have had him in there. That would have been really nice, though, in a casino. That would have been prime real estate to put Lando in there. Yes, so.
Now, what did you think of the fight scenes with the non-Jedi characters, such as Finn?
For it to be not Jedi, I liked the way they went about it. It seemed a little bit brute-ish, but that's totally okay.
Yeah, it totally worked.
Okay.
Totally worked, yeah.
That's what they're used to. That's what they're trained as and such. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think that totally worked. I think his stuff fit him. I just don't think the Jedi scenes were polished enough. I don't. But yeah, his totally fit. Because you want that clunkiness. Yeah, that worked.
Well, now that we know that Rey is not the last Jedi because they add that little kid, who do you think that little kid's gonna end up being?
I don't even know.
And why all the orphaned children tend to be Jedis? Have you noticed?
Yeah, right.
You gotta fit in somewhere in life, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, like Anakin, Rey, and now that random kid at the end of the movie
With the broom.
with the broom, they all have the Force.
The next trilogy. Maybe the next trilogy, that kid will come back.
See Disney, this is what I'm talking about.
See, that was another thing you guys had brought up, talking about like the Force. It's like Luke had it, but he had to be taught to do it. So how did that kid learn how? You understand what I mean? So that's the crazy thing where they start everyone having too much of something. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh yeah, one day I'm just gonna pull something just come to me. No, you have to be taught how to do that. Luke was taught how to do it. Rey was taught how to do it. And this little kid all of a sudden just snatches up a broom. Yeah, so that's kind of weird. But
Well, Rey didn't have any official training. She just had 3 lessons.
yeah, that's kind of weird though.
Which is kind of like, really? Well, no, the excuse is the Force was awoken in her.
Okay, so that's what.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I kind of like
So
the
she
whole
woke.
trial and error.
She woke.
Oh, so she
Yeah.
woke. Okay.
She woke.
Well, so the little kid woke too. They wake. Okay.
Now, they made a big thing about Anakin saying he was too old to be taught, which was weird because Luke was way older
Yeah, he's way older.
when he was taught. No one said anything in reference to Rey with this. So, I mean, it's the thing that if you're going to continue the franchise, you gotta stay true to the earlier material. You just can't keep, because
Embellishing on
it gets annoying. Because
It
then
does.
at that point, you're like,
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even think about. Yeah, it's everyone's just stick to the rules. Some rules can be broken like the Matrix, but try to.
Keep the fans.
Yeah,
Even the Matrix, that third one was,
awful.
yeah.
Hard supposed to make another one. Anyway, that's off. We're going off cue here.
What did you guys think of the dark world scene? And then the bottom that hole that Rey
the
goes
mirror?
down. Yeah. What did you think of that? That to me, I felt like you didn't even need to have that scene, or if you have a scene that in that place, make it different. Like, what did you guys think about
My
that
honest
whole-
opinion, it reminded me of the darn thing out of Empire Strikes Back when they were fighting over the hole. And what was that Not Boba. Was it Boba Fett fell down in the that hole, the hole with the teeth they were hovering over? That's what that thing reminded me of.
You know,
the
Empire,
like
Return of the
yeah,
Jedi.
like this.
Return of the Jedi? Yeah, that whole pit, that's what that reminded me. I'm like, damn, it's, what do they do, just darken it up? Just darken it up a little
Well, I
bit.
thought that was a thing to Yoda's.
The cave.
The cave.
The cave when Luke saw his own head. Was that his
Right.
own head he saw?
Right.
In the cave?
When he killed, when he
Darth
smashed
Vader?
Darth Vader.
And the head rolled off.
Which
a
made
little bit.
sense because that was your father, that's you.
Right.
Subliminally, it made sense. Rey's thing was like, you see these two people come together and then she sees her face.
Yeah.
Which is like, you know, was she the child of Leia and Han? But no, they would have mentioned they had a daughter.
Right.
So that couldn't be it. I thought that she was going to be Luke's daughter because in the
I thought
books,
that too.
Me too.
Luke has twins.
Right. I thought that too.
But then he could have easily said that, oh, I thought, are you my daughter? You know, so he didn't
I thought, yeah.
say anything. So that's whack. So whose kid is she?
Stokes? I'm just kidding.
Stop.
Wow. Oh, wow. That would have been crazy if she was the Emperor's daughter.
Right. Come here, child.
That explains
Right.
so much.
And you are not the father. Neil Maury Povich.
Get up walking around the room.
Oh, Lord. Okay. But overall, I would say go see it, though.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, my date enjoyed it, and she doesn't like that kind of stuff. And said this was like one of the best movies she's seen in a long time, which is like, wow, that was impressive.
I would say so.
I mean, I didn't think it was all that amazing. I thought it was really good compared to Force Awakens. This was a lot of, actually for the fans, right? If you had to compare, this was definitely better than The Force Awakens. It definitely was better than Rogue One. So if you at least thought those were good, you'll definitely enjoy this one.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. So, now if you thought those were terrible, then I don't know where to measure it from there, but this is better than terrible. So,
Oh, man.
Very
you
good
know.
wording. Very good.
Now if you thought that those were amazing, then you have to see this one
Right.
because this is so much better.
Yes.
I thought Rogue One was really good. Am I the
Stop
only
it.
one?
Yes.
I enjoyed
It's
Rogue
just
One.
you. No, we stop. No, a lot of people enjoyed it.
I like Rogue One. Like I said, when I saw Donnie Yen was going to be in Rogue One, I was like, I'm there. I'm a Donnie Yen fan.
Mm.
And this fight stuff looks smooth, so, yeah.
The last 10 minutes were flawless.
Especially when Vader came on.
Vader was the highlight of that
had to
whole.
be, like, run for your life moment right there. That was just like standing up in the movie theater clapping when I saw that, man.
It was the only. Well, technically, I guess it's not the only chance because they're going to do Solo, and Vader could appear some way, somehow within that too. I think Vader's going to show up in all the prequels, in all the little stories. I think he's going
He
to show
has
up.
to be in there, man.
So.
He has to show up. I think so.
So, but he was the best thing of that film. I don't know. There was some dialogue in the. You know, I know you liked Yen in that movie, and that was great and everything, but his whole relationship with the Force was a little much for me.
Right.
Does he have the Force or not? Stop playing games.
Yeah, they played a lot of games. I am one and the Force is one with me. It's a good whole movie. I am one and the Force is
And
one
how come he
with me.
didn't get shot at the end when he was walking, saying that?
The Force was with him.
Stop it!
It had to be with him.
Stop it!
Even
Did you hear him?
He was saying it. He was
You have a
walking.
point. You have very valid.
The Force was with him. Oh man, do you feel this movie was well casted overall?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, yeah. I think I.
Better than Rogue One to me.
It wasn't like some of the roles were just forced.
Right.
You know.
Like, who's the lead character, the lead male in Rogue One? He reminded me too much of Inspector Clouseau. I couldn't take him serious through the. I'm sorry, like. I can't do it right now because I don't want to do a bad thing of it, but he was Inspector Clouseau. I was
That's
just like.
fine. That is fine. Joe.
Watch it again, and now when you watch it, you'll be like, I understand what he's talking about.
Dude, I watch it with a straight face, huh?
I can't watch it with a straight. I can't.
Dude,
His
I-
accent jumps me out of the.
I'm gonna have to watch it now.
Woo! Okay.
Inspector. What was it? The Empire. This is like, oh. It's a cross between Inspector Clouseau and Pepe Le Pew.
Oh man.
Now I gotta see it. Now I have to see it.
We must send the plans to the what is it? The Death Star. Like I was waiting for that. Like,
Dude, I never thought about that. That makes so much sense. Wow. Wow.
and if it's just me, leave comments. I'm not afraid.
Yeah, leave them.
Maybe it's just me,
I'm gonna get cussed out.
and I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm totally okay with that. Oh man. So, what about the planet where it's all like crystals and salt?
Dude, when I first looked at that thing, I thought it was snow. I'm like, wait. Then they said salt. I was like, oh, okay.
Right, because underneath it was red.
red.
The dirt was red. So that I thought that was cinematically was beautiful. Of course, I love color red. So,
Right.
but I thought it was really beautiful.
Cinematically, it was.
But I would have to say whoever had to do the effects must have been driving them crazy because they have to keep the continuity. They can't. So I mean that must have been a nightmare.
Yeah, that was cool though.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
And the little animals, little crystal dogs.
Little Chris Dow's.
They just want to sell toys, dude.
Yeah. So, dude, the marketing in that thing is nuts.
Are you gonna pick up a little what's what it's called?
They were little cute
You
things.
gonna buy one? You gonna buy one?
You sure? I'm thinking Christmas gifts for everybody. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna want one. Mommy, Daddy, can you give me one of those little things? It's gonna happen.
Heck yeah.
It's gonna happen.
I might actually get one. Hey, would you like one?
No, I would.
You like one? Okay.
I won't eat any like meat around it.
Oh yeah, that was a scene right there with Chewbacca. He had, like I said, he had that thing all glazed up. Honey glaze.
But the
What
look,
are those things called, dude? I'm offended. I shouldn't be talking about that stuff.
but the look on his face was like.
I know, right? I even felt bad. I was like, come on, Chewie, put it down.
And then another one's like, get out of my face! Trying to eat my sandwich
You know,
without bread.
Kylo Ren was not totally annoying this one, so
No.
I felt that they could have just did one powerful scene, two tops, with Rey and him. It was like a little too much because you're like, okay, what energy are you trying to pull here? Are they trying to date each other? And the
Yeah, that
comment
was-
with the
that
whole
was
like
awkward.
put a shirt on and really, I think that's. I mean, is that the real at this moment when you're not totally in control and you see someone? That's the first thing you're gonna think about is like, can you put a shirt on or something?
That was weird, man. That I mean, some parts were just a little bit, they were dragging out a little bit too much. Yeah, so.
I mean, and actually, you're right. If he could jump in their minds, yeah, that's a problem with Snoke right there too. If he can jump in their minds and make them connect, why couldn't he jump into Rey's mind and know where she is and know where Luke is?
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. And they kept saying, well, he cut his stuff off to the Force, but you would know where she is.
You know where she is
Yeah,
in
so-
relation to him.
Yeah, so it's, some things were just, the writing wasn't solid.
It's like, come on.
Come on.
Are you going to teach me or not, Luke? I don't know.
There's a book.
Right,
I burn all the books now.
Read. I don't know how to read. Oh, well.
All right, 3
Oh,
lessons
man.
then. Fine.
You better find a droid.
That was funny. He goes and slams into the house.
And also, I just thought this now, the whole time that it takes for the Rays on that island for what, 3 days? That's more than 18 hours. So they said they had 18 hours of fuel left on the Rebel ship, or the Resistance ship. So Disney,
Yeah.
your math is a
Loophole.
little bit off.
Loophole.
Yeah.
Because we turn at a particular speed. What if that planet turns at a different speed? Around itself.
All right.
Could do
Oh,
that.
Very good.
Getting a little
Yeah.
He's
geeky now.
doing some interstellar on us.
Yes.
You know? Come back 100 years old. Leave when you're 7. Come back when you're 100.
And why did the little dinosaur people look like they were from the Caribbean colonial days, cleaning and keeping up the place?
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Because
That was-
like their families migrated like back in the ancient old days. I don't know the backstory. I don't know, but it sounds good. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, where you going with this? Like, you know,
Wow.
I'm waiting for them to talk in like English. I mean, they have to communicate with the Jedi somehow. They have some sort of
Maybe
relationship.
telepathically.
Luke, what wrong with this girl there? Right there? You know, like I'm waiting for them to like, you know, throw in some patois, some Jamaican patois, and be like, What wrong with you?
That would have been funny. I was curious though, how big was that planet he was on? Was that the only little island on that planet? You know, I'm like, wait a second. That's like having a Dragon Ball. They had a whole planet and one little island on the darn thing, you know?
That's funny.
I thought the island would be bigger too.
With really good spoilers.
All right. Well, overall, we're saying definitely, folks, you need to watch it. This is a good movie. We need a rating system for the show.
We do. Can we think about it, or we have to do it on the spot?
I mean, is it pretty much like thumbs up, thumbs down?
Or we're not going to use that thumbs up, rotten apples.
No.
We need something
Like
different for
a 1 to
Eclectica.
10 sliding scale of.
I think we should go with each movie. I would give it 3.5 lightsabers.
Ooh,
Interesting.
I like that.
Ooh.
Out of 5?
Oh, we're going out of 5. I'm thinking out of 4. I would give it, I would give it 4. I would give it 4 lightsabers out of 5 for me.
Okay.
I would.
And what do you got?
I got. You know what?
I would go.
I'm giving it 5 out of 5 lightsabers, man. I thoroughly
Wow.
enjoyed the movie. Overall, even with the kinks and the questions, it was still, to me, like you said, cinematically, it was fantastic. The storyline did its own thing, but I really appreciated it. And I
Even though Leia used the Force to go back to the ship, but yet she's not a Jedi?
Dude, that joke was funny, but yes, because again, comically speaking, but
Right.
it was incredibly good though. I really enjoyed it.
And Mike, what you got?
I give it 3.
Ooh.
3 lightsabers out of 5.
Simon, why?
He's a Simon Cowell of the 7 Network.
Oh man,
I like his honesty. Yeah.
I like how you went in there, buddy.
It was good. It just didn't like. I mean, I'm trying to think what Simon would say now, but yeah, it was good, but it wasn't. It didn't knock me out. The
Okay.
Force was not strong there. for me.
I would.
Like I said, as a movie,
As
I
a
enjoyed
movie.
it as a movie. Yes,
Wow.
that's where my 5 comes from.
I would go 4. 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I would go.
4 out of 5. I mean, I almost want to say 3.5 and a little glint of like a little light, a little sprinkle. Put a little salt on it. Put a little white, red salt on it. But overall, it was good. But we're out of time for this episode. And we're gonna have more Star Wars talk, more other Star. You're watching Eclectica. Thank you, Michael the Knight. We have the comedian Walker, and of course, Sensei Vegan. Again, I'm 7. You're watching Eclectica. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.